look over here. Let's get this out. And repost. Folks, we got a red dot. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to 3-3 to go, Akron and Northeast Ohio's hottest and fastest growing show. I am coming to you live this morning with a special update from one of our local soccer affiliates, Akron City FC, Akron City Football Club. This is their third year now, and this year they actually made the playoffs. So they had a real nice season, and they have a playoff game coming up. So right now we're going to bring on their head coach. Let me hit this button, see if that works. And there we are. It is Andy. Here is Coach Andy Hoggarth, everybody. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Great. Morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. All right. So first of all, tell us, the first question I always ask people is tell us your 330 story. Tell us about you. I mean, you live in Akron, right? So tell us your journey in terms of life and in soccer and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'll try and give you the quick version, right? I grew up in Middlesbrough, England, northeast England. Had a little bit of the fortunate career where I'd bounced around and spent some time with a couple of different pro teams, and was one of those never made it to the final steps. So after making the decision at 22, 23-year-old, I had the opportunity to come over to the US and take a college coaching position, and I've been here ever since. I think I started off as a graduate assistant down in Northern Virginia, Shenandoah University, then moved on to Teal College, Division III in Pennsylvania, and from there had the opportunity to go into University of Akron on the women's side as assistant coach. After that, made the decision to go back into head coaching over at Slippery Rock and then on to Walsh University, which brought me back. Although I was still living in the Akron area at Slippery Rock, I wanted to get a little bit closer and not commute as much as I was. And the opportunity at Walsh came in to rebuild the program. Been there about 9 years now. So
that's a heck of a drive going to Slippery Rock, I would think.
Yeah, it was definitely an hour and a half each way. It was, to be fair, it got a lot of work done in the car, a lot of recruiting calls done. So it definitely was a good opportunity. So
real quick aside, you've been watching UEFA?
Yeah. I guess positive that England are in the semi-final, but it's helped me with my sleep pattern a little bit during the day.
Well, we both England and the US both have question marks at coach right now. I'll say it that way, manager, whatever we call them. So as we move forward, I'm sure as a coach, you're probably a little even more hypercritical of style of play and that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, and I think for me, a little bit of a soft spot. Obviously, being a Middlesbrough fan, Southgate was our captain when we won the first trophy and played in Europe when I was a fan growing up, and then obviously went on the England manager. So you got a little bit of a soft spot, but I guess we always talk about England never win anything. So if you can win us something, we'll forgive him with the style of play of sitting back and defending. So
that's right. All right, man. So you've had a stint in the NPSL before. I believe you coached initially when the league first opened up. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I had the opportunity. I was the first head coach of AFC Cleveland. I don't want to make anyone at Akron mad with that, but but I had the opportunity to be the first head coach of AFC Cleveland when they started. I think it was 2012, 13, back all those years ago, and I had the opportunity to build the team there. And still, as a young coach, it was a good opportunity to work with some high level players, and we had a successful 2.5 years. My assistant Aaron, who's down at High Point now, as the head coach of their women's program. We had a successful 2.5 years. Won the NPSL conference in our first year, and it was great to be involved in the league back then. So
first of all, Cleveland and Akron fans get after it, man. Mostly on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, but Cleveland fans are really, really aggressive. I just watch and they get like you said, you don't want to make anybody mad. They get really get angry, and it's like, what are you guys doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's great, right? Growing up in England, obviously you have the local derby rivalries and whatnot. So as much as you don't want to give give them the props for getting a bit angry, and you almost enjoy that Cleveland Akron and the local rivalry between the teams. So it's awesome
fun.
to be in that.
It's funny, man.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about MPSL then, right? So the goal of this program is to develop players and then push them along up to upper levels, right?
Yeah,
so from that standpoint, it sometimes can be difficult on you as a coach because your roster quite literally could be changing every year from year to year. All right. Go ahead. Speak on that real quick.
No, I think last year, right? I took the job just after Christmas last year, and it was obviously that's a late roster building year, and I think we had to turn around. I think we've got 2 guys back this year from last year. So, but it is what it is, right? That's I think being in Akron, that's one of the things that draws you to Akron is, what the university have done over the years, growing soccer in the city, and having the opportunity to grow that in the summer as well. I think it's it's tough that you lose, the I'll say culture, but you still build it every year. But you lose that, that chemistry and that culture. But if you lose that because you're moving the lads on to the next level and potentially the pro game, then hey, that's the best part of it, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about this roster now. So obviously we've enjoyed some success this year, and it's interesting because I didn't have a chance. I was almost at every game the last 2 years, and I, because of wedding season this year, I was only able to attend the final game. Okay. Well, the team was short, and then they got a red card. They scored 11 goals, right? Yeah. That 11 goal outburst was more goals than I got to see the entire other 2 seasons combined. Yeah. So obviously we've got a team that likes to build from the back and put the ball in the back of the net. All right. So let's talk about this roster this year and what we got coming up in terms of playoffs.
Yeah, I think in that 11 goals, and I think Sava only scored. I think Sam Sava only scored 1, maybe 2, right, of that as well. And he's been, kind of him and Stefan have been flying for us. But I think that's the one thing that we looked at when we were building the roster was, you're not getting the guys in until May 4th, May 5th, and then you've got a game starting the league play within 10 days. So, tactically building you're not going to be able to put the England build-up tactical defensive shape, if you want to think that's fun, but together. So it was building a roster that could be exciting to watch, and that maybe using attack as the first form of defense, right? And I think my dad's been watching the games in England, and he's like, hey, you need to be a little bit stronger defensively. But looking at the other end, when you're scoring, I think we're averaging like 4.8 goals a game over the whole season.
Right.
Hopefully that we can defend enough not to concede 5 goals a game and lose games. So I think that was, with the staff, a little bit of the mentality of, can we build an attacking, fun to watch squad? And I think we had the opportunity to do that with players that came in and joined us. And at the end of the day, we I think we talked about that with the Cleveland game a couple of weeks ago. We were 3-0 up, and they were down to 10 men, and the guys are keeping the ball, and then it's like, hey, look, this is close to 1,000 people in the crowd, and I know we're trying to rest our legs a little bit and just keep the ball, but this is a spot where we can maybe entertain a little bit more at that situation, and that's kind of what we want to do on the field, and continue that as well in the playoffs.
And again, the playoffs have been set now.
Yeah.
And you had a observation in terms of the way that the tiebreakers are handled in terms of this league. If you want to explain that to the audience real quick.
Yeah, I think everything I've ever, grown up playing in and coaching in has always kind of been the points. Whoever's top of the league on points is obviously is top of the league. They've earned the points, rightly so, from winning games. And then, the tiebreaker that's kind of come along first in other leagues and other experiences being goal difference. And, this league's gone with the head-to-head as the first tiebreaker. So, us in Steel City, I think we're joint top with 24 points. And I think we have about an 8 goal better goal difference. And unfortunately, we're not the 1 seed because they beat us 2-1 in the regular season in the game we played at St. Mary there. So, that's the tiebreaker. That's like, we knew that going in, so we can't complain. But it would be nice to be following suit with what I've personally experienced, that goal difference being the first tiebreaker when points are tied. So, but hey, you got to beat the best. Yeah. You got to beat everyone, right? So we didn't beat them in the regular season. If we want to advance, we got to beat Michigan, and then more than likely, I feel Steel City will probably beat Flower City in the other semifinal, and we're gonna have to go there and the chance to come back and beat them.
All right, so now let's talk about the game real quick. So, well, first of all, back to playoffs real quick. The way I saw it is there's 3 bracket divisions. So, in other words, right now you're in what's considered your local regional, right?
Yeah.
And then at that point, whoever wins that then goes on to another bracket, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And then there's another bracket after that, correct?
Yeah. So we'll go from our conference playoffs to then a regional playoffs to then a Final Four national playoffs.
Okay.
We, as a coaching staff, we've been looking at that as well. We're still trying to figure all the different ones out. So.
Right. All right. So then, so on to this game now. So just to give everybody notice, it is this Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Green Street Stadium at St. V. And you can see we've had the ticker running across the bottom. It gives you all that information for July 10th. And at the very end, it's also got the ticketing link. All right. So the ticketing link is available, and those tickets are now on sale. So we played Michigan. We beat them, right, before?
Yeah, we've played them twice this season. So we played certain teams twice in the league.
Okay.
They came in, I think we beat them 5 or 6-0 second game of the season. I think their goalkeeper got sent off in the first half. So, obviously scoreline's going to be a little bit false. And then we went up there and we beat them 3-2 up there in Grand Rapids. Now, beating anyone 3 times in a season is tough. But, I think we've got the talent, we've got the team that can do it. But then on the other end of it as well, for the fans, I actually think from that Michigan game when we went up there, I think they were the best team we saw all season. It was a heck of a game up there in a downpour for about 60 of the 90 minutes, but it was a 3-2 win. But it went to the wire. It was never a comfortable that hey, this game's over. It was a bit of a banger of a game, and they've got a great coaching staff, a great roster as well. So it should be a great game to get out and watch on Wednesday night.
How has our fans? How have the fans been this year? How's attendance been, and what's it been like on the road in terms of what are the other fans like?
I think hands down, we've attended games. We've had the best attendance everywhere we've been. I think that Cleveland game a couple of weeks ago, I'd imagine we were touching close to hitting 1,000 fans, and then even that Southern Indiana game, you feel as though we'd been there and beat them on Friday night 5-1, turn around and come back Sunday. You're wondering 6 o'clock Sunday, is that a good time for getting people out? And I think obviously you said you were at that game. I think that was a pretty well attended game for a Sunday evening when bottom of the league team. It wasn't necessarily a game where people are like, yeah, do I do this Sunday night or do I go do something with my family? And I think it was still really well attended. So, but on the road, I think we've our home crowds have been probably double, if not more, of everywhere we've been to. I think the support's been awesome.
Well, let's do it again, man. We got a big game for you guys on Wednesday. Looking forward to it. And if is there any schedule in advance? Let's say we win this. Do we already have another date ahead?
Yes. If we win on Wednesday, we'll go to the final will be the highest seed that's remaining. So obviously, if Steel City beat Flower City, then it'll be in Pittsburgh on Saturday night. If Flower City beat Steel City and we're beating Michigan, then we would host it, I believe, on Saturday night. So, and then if we win through that, then I think obviously it's sport, right? Nothing ever goes in the way you'd think it would go. But if everything goes who you would expect to win out the games, then I believe we would probably host the regional semifinal next Wednesday as well. So it would give us that's kind of the carrot we're putting out there with the team to have another 2 more potential home games and before we go to the national weekend. But I don't think people don't realize what the crowd does for us. I think we've got obviously a high level group of guys coming from the University of Akron. We've got Sam Sarver coming in from Indiana. We've got a couple of guys from Ohio State, and they're used to being at well attended games. And I think you've just seen locally at the University of Akron the crowds they get there. It does give you a massive home field advantage. That with the volume, the supporters group this year have stepped it up again. With a megaphone, drums, flares going off, and things like that. Yeah. And it does create it makes it fun for us as well. Obviously, yeah, we're there to play and win the games, but having a good crowd and a good atmosphere does make a massive difference for us.
I bring mine.
There we go. So
I bring mine.
With that, right? So yeah, if we can get a big crowd out, it does make it almost like a 12th man on the field.
Excellent. All right. Well, listen, Coach, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning, and we wish you guys the best of luck. And let's go ahead and let's bring another win. And like you said, go get your business done, and let's get 2 home games.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. No, it'd be huge for us to get another win. And I think I haven't given any credit on this call yet, but our owner Nick Turchin does an unbelievable job on in the team and what he provides us. I think when teams come and play us at home, from the day-to-day operations of it to the atmosphere in the stadium, to the level of product put on not just on the field but in the stands as well. It's I think what Akron City do is unbelievable. I think everywhere we go, right, we get 5 pizzas in the locker room after the game, whereas teams come to us and Uncle Tito's put a good spread on from their Mexican restaurant in the room after the game, and people just see what we do off the field is next level as well, and that's all down to what Nick and our operations group do. So I think we want to do it for them as well and make sure we're bringing a good product and a good experience and winning more games.
That sounds great, man. Well, looking forward to it. Good luck, Coach. We'll see you on Wednesday, okay?
Appreciate it. See you on Wednesday.
All right, take care.
Thanks a lot.